Hi guys, Michelle here. I am here to go over WileyPlus Chapter 11, Exercise 6. So the exercise gave us some information, and we were supposed to create the stockholder balance portion of the balance sheet is what we were supposed to do, and how it affects the before and after effects of the dividends. So we were told at the beginning that the stockholders' equity section of the balance sheet consisted of common stock at $7 par, totaling $973,000, retained earnings of $460,000, and then there was a 15% stock dividend for 20,850 shares is declared when the market price per share is $16. So first we were supposed to do the show the before and after effects of the dividends. So I filled in each section. So first we start with this, and I did it in two ways. I have it from the homework assignment, but then I also have it through Excel because I did some calculations and to show you how to do the calculations. So first we start with our stockholders' equity because that's the portion we're doing. And then we'll start with our paid-in capital. So that consists of our common stock. I did the before dividends column first. So our common stock, we know from the question that it was $973,000. So I entered that number there. We do not have any paid-in capital at this time because this is before the dividends. And then the total paid-in capital, you take the $973,000, or you would add the common stock and the paid. But right now we're just adding the common stock. The next section is through the retained earnings. So we know from the question up above that the retained earnings is $460,000. So for the total for the stockholders' equity for the before dividends, you take your $973,000 and you add it with your retained earnings of $460,000, and you come up with $1,433,000. Sorry, and that totals up our before. Then we go into the after. So we know that there's 15% of the stock dividends that we have not calculated into our common share. So basically what I did was I took our $973,000 and I times it by our 15% or 0.15, and then I added in the 973 again. So it's kind of a two-part problem. So, but when you add it back in, you come up with $1,118,950, and that equals our total common stock. Again, that was taking the 973,000 times our 15% equals our number, and then we add in the 973,000 again. Our paid-in capital, basically what this is our paying for our 20,850 shares. So we take the cost, the $16 that we paid for those ones and the $7, and subtract those two, and then we're going to times it by the number of shares that we had. So then we came up with $187,650. Our total in paid capital will equal our common stock plus our paid in capital amount, which comes to $1,306,600. Now you have to figure out your retained earnings. So this was a little bit of a challenge, but I kind of came up with the difference down here. So first, you have to take the difference between your before dividend and your after dividend. So I subtracted these two numbers together and came up with $145,950 was our difference. Then I took that number and I added it with our paid in capital. So we're adding the $145,950 plus $187,650, which we get $333,600. Now to get the retained earnings portion, I'm taking the original amount of the retained earnings of $460,000 and subtracting it against our number that we got before for the $333,600. So that's where I'm coming up with the $126,400 cost right there for. And then we do our total stock. And again, you are adding up your total paid in capital and your retained earnings. And that's where you're getting the $1,433,000. The second part of the question, we have to show the before and after effects of paying the dividends on the shares outstanding. So our before dividends, we're taking our $973,000 and dividing it by $7 because that's how much the cost was. And that's where, oops, I did something. That's where I'm getting the 139,000 shares from before. And then the after, basically what you're doing is you're taking your before shares and then you're adding in your 20,850 shares from the beginning question. And that's where you get your after dividend share. I did run this through the homework assignment and it was all correct, and it kind of shows here the entries as well. Yeah, and that's all. If you have any questions, please let me know, and thank you for listening.